Hey everybody, this is Tony with Lancaster Archery Supply. Here to talk to you today about the Black Gold Pro sight. This is a new offering for 2021 from Black Gold that incorporates a lot of their technology that they've kind of perfected in their sights over the last couple of years, but is kind of cleaned up a little bit, tighter for tolerances. First things that kind of stands out to you is this Wing Truss Bar that's on the back side of the sight. This is CNC machined aluminum, which is a little different from what other companies are doing right now. A lot of other companies you'll see using carbon fiber here. Black Gold has decided to go with aluminum to kind of give you a little bit more stable, hardy feel to the overall construction of the dovetail and relief adjustment of the sight. But with this version, they've allowed themselves to be able to keep it at the same kind of weight as what you would get in a carbon fiber bar by kind of machining it down to its kind of minimal construction. On the Wing Truss Bar, not only for that lightweight system, you also have the incorporation of a depth adjustment. This will allow you to kind of recess or bring the sight closer or farther away from your eye as you need. Going forward on the sight, you have vertical adjustment that's locked in place by a simple lockdown mechanism, as you can dial it up and down for your single pin. The windage and elevation are micro click, so this makes getting it dialed in really, really easy. On your windage block here, this is a click adjustment. Now you do have to unlock this Allen key to do it. Not too dissimilar from some of the other components of the sight, but then you get the nice fine click adjustment in order to move the sight exactly where you need it for windage. Same thing applies for the elevation. The lockdown for the elevation is a little bit different for getting to that one. That lockdown screw is hidden right next to your windage knob, and then you can move the elevation up and down. And the housing has a nice bright green ring on it so that you can center up in your peep real easy. CNC machine pin, which is super, super durable in combination with going to be as thinned out as possible so that you don't have all that kind of obscuring the target downrange. And then one of the greatest things about Black Gold sights is the photochromatic shell over the top. This actually will darken in bright light so that you don't get the starbursting that you would normally get of a pin as you put it over the top of your target. The one I'm holding here is a single pin option. They do come in either a 3 or a 5 pin head as well, so if you want to have something that you can dial for that single pin and then have other usable pins that are inside the housing there to potentially save you on that shot where that animal takes a step or moves closer or further away. In that instance, you won't have to reach up there and dial around. The CNC machine pins do come in either 19 or 10 thousandths. They do have a huge knob on here. They call it Dial of Death, which is probably one of the best names for a knob in the industry. It makes it real easy to find, grab a hold of, and with the way the sight tapes situate, you can see this pretty easily from the backside holding onto your bow, as well as from kind of turning the bow on its side. Speaking of the sight tapes, they have 54 of these guys that they do change in what looks like half a foot per second increments in some instances, allowing you to be able to really precisely set your sight for those long distance shots, which can always be challenging with a lot of the sight tapes in the industry. Don't really have that kind of foot per second change in them, so you can get out to some of those 80 and 90 yard shots and not have a perfect tape. These actually will allow you to get that perfect setting for those super long distance shots. So this second and third axis adjustment is pretty simple. The third axis, which will set that sight housing square to your eye, unlocks via 2 screws. You got a little small one on the back here, and then a larger one on the opposite side. And these basically counter pressure one another. So all you've got to do is unlock the top screw first. Just gonna make sure everything can move. Then you have the main body screw, which you can put a little pressure to and make sure everything is good and snug. A lot of times this is easier with 2 Allen wrenches on the bow for sure, but you can make that adjustment by just tightening in there and then loosening up here, and this will allow that head to kind of pivot which way you need it to go. So I went ahead and loosened this one up to kind of show the second axis adjustment, and it's always a little easier to do this with levels and mount it on everything and on a bow. But with this particular situation, you just unlock these two screws. This then allows you to pivot the head of the body of the release and your vertical adjustment so that you can get that level to read perfect. So on this particular one as well, you do have the ability to take out your second axis and the dovetail bar and walk it down further. So if you need to get more elevation adjustment out of the whole bar, as opposed to trying to max out your vertical adjust there, you can do that too. And they also incorporate this adjustable pin system so that when you do run into the situation where you're kind of maxing out on your side tape, you can make sure that that does correspond to point in the right spot. One of the bonus features to the Black Gold sights is that you can incorporate a lens on here. They offer an optional 2 or 4 power lens. That was Black Gold's new Pro sight. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you want to see more like it, subscribe to our channel. If you want to receive notifications as to when we're putting out our new videos, go ahead and hit the bell. And if you got any questions, give us a call into customer service, or check us out over at lancasterarchery.com.